Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is a little bit of a different video. It kind of feels like I'm sitting down to do a podcast episode because that's really the only sit down type of videos I've done. But today we are doing something different. Today I'm going to take you through my project plans for the fall. Fall is my absolute favorite season. I'm sure we all know that. I'm sure it's many of our favorite seasons. And taking you through some of the projects and plans I have for the fall, as well as some other ways that I am going to be cultivating all things cozy this season. I really want to be intentional about really embracing the season because it is my favorite season, and I've always been stressed and busy, and I'm still stressed and busy, but I'm in a different place than where I was last year, and so I'm really excited to fully embrace it and take full advantage of this year. So in honor of that intentionality, I thought it'd be really fun to share my plans. I have my fall candle out. This is Cabin Getaway and it is absolutely amazing. I will have it linked down below. I've been pulling out all of my fall candles and I have been burning them non-stop. They are my favorite thing. I live for fall candles. You know, grab a cozy fall project. I don't know, maybe you've already started on fall projects already. I know I have, and because this is crocheters and knitters prime time. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this video and I hope you're able to get some inspiration, or you may just enjoy, you know, listening to me talk about all of my ambitions and things I want to make that probably will never happen, but that's okay. So let's get into it. Oh, and something else I want to mention, yes, I do have a little bit of a new format going. I kind of moved to a different side of the room. I was kind of bored with that and I wanted to change it up a little bit, so let me know what you think. This is the reason why there are these like holes and not holes, cracks, is this is actually a sewing table that I'm using as a desk. So that's a little explanation of the background. So now let's get to the video. So I've always been someone who loves planning out my projects and for each season, and this whole year has been really weird and really not normal. And I kind of mentioned this in my last podcast episode and how I wanted to finally plan out the rest of the year, projects, videos, content, everything planned out. I was able to do that. And so now I feel so much better about going into this next season, and I'm so excited about the plans that I have, and I'm really optimistic that I will be able to get through hopefully as many as I can. So I thought I would start with the project that I'm most excited about, and it starts with some yarn that I just got in the mail last week. So if you've been around, you know that I absolutely adore Sorella yarn. They are a hand-dyed yarn company. It was started by Ashley. She was a crochet blogger behind Sorella.com, which you can still go there and find beautiful crochet patterns. And now she has transitioned to Sorella Yarn, which is her yarn dyeing business. She has the most beautiful colorways and the most beautiful yarns. My absolute favorite yarn company, and they reached out asking if I would like to be a brand ambassador for them, which no brainer considering that it is one of my favorite yarn companies. So sorry, I know I'm looking down a lot. I'm looking at the beautiful yarn that they sent. So this is from the Autumn in New York collection, which sounds so magical. It was a collaboration with, I think her name is Alexi of Two of Wands, and you can no longer get this yarn. It was a pre-order that was open for 24 hours, so you can no longer get this yarn, but their fall tonals are now available, and they are all so beautiful, and they're available throughout fall. So I will have that linked down below, and if you shop through that link, then I do receive a small commission at no extra cost to you. But let's get into this yarn that they sent me. So I have 3 skeins of beautiful yarn, and these are all on the nylon sock base. This is an 80-20% superwash merino wool. That's the 80%, and then 20% nylon. These are all 100 grams, and this is my favorite sock base. It is so soft and so nice. And this is, let's see if it will have problems with it focusing, and there we go. This is Soho, and it is a cool gray tonal, so pretty. And then this is The City That Never Sleeps. I'm not gonna lie, when I first opened the box, I was a little hesitant about this color, just because I'm not someone who crochets with or knits with darker colors, so I was a little hesitant. But the more I looked at it and the more I examined it, I fell more and more in love with it. It is a variegated yarn where it has these lighter colors that matches Soho really well, and then it has these like deep plum purple colors, and then even this like brownish, like a cool brown color in there, and it's so pretty. And I'm really excited. I did not choose out these colors. She sent them to me, which they probably wouldn't have been the colors that I chose, but I'm glad that they sent me these colors because I love these colors together. Like, the more I looked at them, the more I fell in love with them. But so I wouldn't have had them if they hadn't sent these colors to me. So I love this color. I'm becoming a purple girl again. I did go through a purple phase several years ago, and I think I'm coming back into that era again. I'm just starting to notice myself really embracing like the lilacs, and like lilac and plum colors I think are really pretty right now. Then this one is my favorite, and this is the Met. This is also very muted, very natural variegation between some darker taupes and some creams and some grays. I do consider this more of a brown, but it's on the cooler side. It's not like a warm brown, and I think it's really pretty. So at first, when I got these yarns, my first thing was, oh, socks, because that's what I always make with hand-dyed yarn. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? These all go together really well. And so I was like, I'm gonna see if I have enough to make a sweater out of it, especially if it's cropped, which I really love. I either love big oversized sweaters or cropped sweaters, and especially if there was some variegation in it where it was pretty even throughout all the colors, I think I would have enough. I did go on Ravelry and I found a pattern by I think it's Andrea Mowry. I forget the name of the sweater, but I think it would be beautiful with these yarns. I feel like this is the one that ties these two together because it has the light gray in here, and then there's also like the gray in here, because these both have some gray that match this. And so this is going to be my main color, and then because I love this one is going to be like the main contrasting color, and then this one is going to be the accents, the smaller accents where it's not used as much. So that is my plan for these yarns. If you've seen my Instagram or my latest podcast episode, I'm working on a top-down crochet yoke sweater right now, and as soon as I finish that, I will let myself cast on this, but I need to finish that first, and then I can work on this. And I know that this is going to be a sweater that is going to take all of fall to make because it's knit, and I'm a lot slower at knitting than I am crocheting, and it's fingering weight yarn, which is going to take a really long time, and it's color work, and I have not done color work in like 3 years. So it's just gonna be a really fun project that I can pick up here and there. So that is my first project that I want to cast on as soon as possible. Okay, you know what? These are so pretty. I might just leave them in the background like this. Yeah, we'll leave them there. They're too pretty to put back in a basket. So my next project is not even a new project. It is one that has been in a basket since this past winter. January, February. I don't even know the last time I picked it up. But let me show you what I have going so far. I'm actually almost-ish done with it. So it's going to be this very big, oversized, cropped sweater. This is the back panel that I think I'm almost done with. I don't know. It's kind of all wrinkled because, again, I just realized I should probably watch that flame to make sure I don't burn this. And then the front panel is going to have, I think they're called Henley sweaters. I could be wrong, but where this is the front and it has the V, and I'm going to do ribbing across here and then buttons. And I don't know if it's going to be real or like the faux Henley where like the buttons don't work, they're just like sewed on top. But that is my plan. I need to make that deeper. So that's the front. So really, I'm almost done with it. I just need to figure out, because like the back panel is basically done. I might need to add a few more rows depending on where this goes, but because I do need to add some more rows to it. And so I really just need to figure out this top section, which is, again, almost done, and then seam it together, do sleeves, figure something out for the neckline, and then it's done. Really, I could get it done in like a couple of days if I really focus on it. And this is something that I am designing, so I would like to release it this fall. I expect it to be probably November at the earliest, just by the time I get the yoke sweater that I'm working on right now finished, and then releasing the pattern takes a lot. But I do want to pick this up again once I'm done with that yoke sweater. I'll probably pick it back up around the same time that I start this sweater, just so then I can get this one done and get the pattern ready. So right now I'm just calling it the Henley sweater just because I don't know what else to call it. That might be the name of it, I don't know, but I think it's gonna be really, really cute. The inspiration for this sweater came from a girl. I saw her wear something very similar to this, where it was very boxy, oversized, but cropped several years ago. I was like, I need to make that. So I am really excited about this, and I'm excited to wear it too. This is We Crochet Alpaca Cloud. This is DK Weight, and this is the color Colette. It is this gorgeous taupe color. I absolutely love this color. This has been my color lately. So yes, that is what I am going to work on next. I think I'm only going to release 2 garment designs this fall, the yoke sweater and then the Henley sweater. Just because garment designs are a lot. I really enjoy them. I love designing garments, but the actual creating the pattern, writing up, grading it, and then just everything that goes with releasing a pattern is a lot. And so thinking realistically about other projects that I want to do, like this sweater, it's really only going to be realistic for me to do 2 garment designs, patterns, if even that. I know that yoke sweater will be released. We'll see about this. Okay, I'm in a phase where I want to really work through my stash and get through my stash and have very minimal yarn. I really want to be at a point where I just have some yarn for socks and maybe some other random crochet projects, and then that's it. So that's gonna be my focus for a lot of the projects that I do. And of course, something that is very high on my list of things to do is socks. You know, I love making socks. There are several people that I want to make socks for. And of course I have yarn that I want to use to make socks for myself. And because there's so much of it, and that's just gonna be a project that's gonna be constant throughout fall, I don't want to show all of the yarn that I intend to use, but I do think it'd be fun to make a pair of bulky slipper socks, maybe some type of pattern. I could try doing like cabling or something like that. I've seen those and those are so cute. And so the yarn that I have in my stash that I would use is this paint box yarn. This is Simply Chunky, and what color is this? The color number is 307. I don't know what like the color name for it is, but this is a number 5 bulky weight. It's really soft. I have either 2.5, almost 3 skeins, or I have 3, almost 4 skeins of this in my stash. So I want to make socks, but I know that then I'll have an awkward amount of like 1.5 left. So I'm really excited, especially because I want to do some sort of really fun pattern. I'm thinking cables or something. I haven't picked out a pattern yet. I am finding it's hard to find a sock pattern for like a bulky weight, because there's either like the worsted weight or the super bulky, and there's nothing for the number 5, which is in between those. So if you have any patterns that you know of that are the bulky weight, please let me know in the comments down below. So I want to make these as soon as possible so that I can enjoy them for the rest of fall. My next project is another design and stash busting project. So this actually matches my sweater. This is You and Me, which is a yarn that was a collaboration between Lion Brand and Two of Wands. And this color is Spicy, and this is another bulky weight yarn. I used this yarn to make my red hat last year, and I had a whole skein of this left, and I really love this color. I think it's the perfect color for fall, and I'm pretty sure I would have enough to make a beanie for fall, and I think that this would be really cozy. And I would love to do the cobblestone stitch, so it'd be like a very traditional beanie where it would have the ribbing and then the texture of the cobblestone stitch. I think that would be really fun and really cozy, and it'd be just like little baubles basically throughout the whole hat, because of the bulky yarn. So this one is one of those that I can turn into a design. I could work this up in like 2 days, 2 evenings. It'd be really quick and perfect for fall. So that is another one of my projects. Again, great because it uses up stash yarn, but it's also a really small project, which it's nice to have those small projects in between all of these other projects that take a really long time. Now, something else that I have been seeing all over Instagram, I saw like 10 of them on like 10 different feeds yesterday while I was scrolling, was these like pumpkin pillows. I think that those would be really fun to make. I was not intending to do any pumpkins or pumpkin designs this year. I've done, I think, at least one pumpkin design for like 3 years in a row, and so I was kind of ready not to do that, but I saw these and I was like, that would be so much fun to make and so perfect for fall, and I really want to make them. But I know then if I make them, then I would want to share them like on Instagram and on here, and then people will ask for the patterns, then I have to write the patterns. So that is something that I really want to do, and I'm afraid because it's already September, I'm afraid that then it would just be really late in the season for pumpkins. Like, I feel like by end of September, who's still making pumpkins? I don't know. We'll see. It's something that I really want to make, but it's also not the biggest priority. So we'll kind of just see if I find some yarn that I really like for it, because I haven't found anything that is still in stock. That's kind of the issue right now. So we'll see on that, but I would like to make that. Okay, those are really, I think, my main project plans for this fall. The emphasis is cozy and stash busting, because those are my two favorite things. So now I want to talk about some other ways that I am going to be cultivating all of the coziness this autumn. And the first one I'm already doing, and that is candles. I love my candles. I burn them every single day, and they just fill the room with all the cozy fall scents. And so yes, I will have this one linked below and some others that I plan on getting this year. Now that I think about it, this is kind of basically my autumn bucket list. I'm not like a huge like bucket list person, but I thought it'd be really fun to kind of, again, with me wanting to be intentional about this specific fall season, doing some type of like bucket list, physical list of things I want to do will then motivate me and help me to actually do those things, because the season is so short. So one of the things that I want to do is make homemade pumpkin spice lattes. I did that last year and they are delicious. They are so good and so easy. I'm going to try to find the recipe that I made last year or a similar one, which I will link down below, because it was so good and it is healthier than Starbucks pumpkin spice latte. Don't get me wrong, I will still be going to Starbucks and getting my Starbucks pumpkin spice latte, but for every day I will be making this pumpkin spice latte, which I'm really excited about, and that I will be making like every single day of fall. And my second thing that I want to do is make a really cozy fall garland using pine cones and like some scraps of yarn, maybe either doing like tassels or pom-poms and maybe even incorporating leaves. I don't know, I kind of want to just make some sort of DIY garland, and using like things from nature makes it more natural and kind of more cozy. And so I will definitely be sharing that when I make that. I'm really excited. I'm thinking I'm going to wait a little bit longer, maybe for the leaves to turn. But that is definitely something that I want to make and put in my space so that I can feel all the fall things. And my third thing is watch all the cozy movies and TV shows. As far as movies, what I'm most looking forward to is Harry Potter. Watching that, especially the first one, is just so perfect for fall and October and even November as it kind of goes into Christmas and things like that. I think it's just so perfect, and I'm really excited to watch that again because it's been a while. And also I started watching Gilmore Girls for the first time. I'd seen some episodes last year for the first time, but like way out of order. They were way further into the series, and so now I'm going back and starting from the beginning and watching it all through for the first time. And now, I'd always heard people say that like Gilmore Girls is the ultimate fall show, and I did not understand that until I started, and then I'm like, oh my word, this is like the ultimate fall show. This is so perfect for fall, and I'm obsessed. So I've been watching that a lot lately, and it's just getting me in all of the fall spirit and vibes, and I love it so much, and it's so perfect in the evenings to watch. And my last way that I'm planning on bringing some coziness into my life, which now that I think about it, I'm like, why is this cozy? Like, this isn't relaxing, but it is reading thrillers slash mystery books. I have some right here on display. The first one, this one I read earlier this year. It was kind of the wrong vibes. I was reading it on the beach in Florida, and that's just not the right place to read it. I'll just tell you about the book. So this is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, and this is a book about a man who is stuck in like this manor estate thing, so like all the dark academia you could want. And in order for him to leave, he has to solve the death of Evelyn Hardcastle. But like every day at the same time she dies, so like the day repeats itself over and over again, but he changes who he is. Like he's a different guest every day. It's so good. I honestly, again, like I said, I read it on the beach, totally the wrong vibes, and also it's a book, it's easy to read, but it's also a book that I feel like, for me, I shouldn't have read it in public. I should have just read it at home where I can concentrate better. So I really want to reread this book because it was so good, and I gave it 5 stars. Okay, my next book is from the library, so I do intend on reading it very soon, and that is Watching You. This is a thriller by Lisa Jewell, and I don't know much about this book. That's kind of how I like to go into these types of books, not knowing much about it. But I do know it takes place in England, in kind of like a place where like all the doctors, lawyers, like the high academia people live. And that's basically all I know about it, but it sounds perfect for fall, and I'm really excited to read it. I'm reading a book right now, and I'm almost done with it. So as soon as I'm done with that one, I'm picking this one up because this one sounds really good. So those are a couple of books that I want to read this fall, and I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more about the books I'm reading this fall on Instagram, because I do love sharing more about that over there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it gave you a lot of inspiration for fall and hopefully gave you a few ideas of cultivating that coziness for autumn, and I'm so excited to be sharing with you all of the things I actually accomplished this fall. I'm sure I will be talking about it a lot more on my podcast as well as on Instagram. So I hope you have a lovely and cozy day.